Pokemon Go is currently the most loved and most hated thing on the internet right now. For those lucky enough to have escaped this phenomenon so far, Pokemon Go is an augmented reality game for your phone that finally makes every self-professed 90s kid's dreams come true. The chance to catch real, live Pokemon. Sort of. You walk around with your phone out, and via your phone's camera, you can see the world in front of you. And then, Pokemon look like they're on the ground, or in your car, or at the free clinic, or wherever. And you catch them. Everyone seems to be fucking going crazy for it, with reports that it's already more downloaded than Tinder and Snapchat on Android phones. And no doubt your social media feeds have been littered with photos of your friends finding fishmons, or whatever they're fucking called, in the toilet. But of course, not everything's rubies and sapphires. There have been reports floating around, I don't know how real they are, of businesses not too thrilled that Pokemon are apparently marked to appear on their premises. So people are just walking in, catching them, and getting the fuck out without buying anything. Others are upset that their workers are fucking around on company time, roaming the halls for brightly colored animals. Then there are the people that are just annoyed that it's dominating every social media page and subreddit. Hard to believe, but not everyone is interested in being the very best, like no one ever was. But then, there are the people who like Pokemon, who have problems with it. You see, Pokemon games aren't meant for stupid kids. They're meant for people in their mid to late 20s who played the first one in 1998 and no one else. Don't believe me? Well, check out these hot takes. All kids younger than 15 years old need to get off Pokemon Go and stop overloading the servers. Y'all don't even know who Squirtle is. Yeah, you stupid fucking kids. How dare you play a game intended for you to walk around a park catching anime characters? I'm older than you. I have a claim to it for some reason. By the way, 8,600 plus people like this tweet, suggesting there are a lot of people who actually feel this way. That is, people who were born on or before a different arbitrarily picked year than others, they should get to play it before those born after that year. Then I've seen a few of these ones. If you didn't play it on this, don't play it on this. You see, you're only a real fan of Pokemon if your daddy happened to pump your mommy full of his stupid semen around, let's say, 1993 or so that you'd be alive when the first video games in the series were relevant. And those are the only people who are allowed to be fans. God forbid new children are introduced to a thing and start liking it. Well, they can, Buckley. They just have to go back and play the other games so they can really appreciate it. Like me, a true Pokemon fan. Well, that's fucking stupid. Have you played those games recently? They look like shit, and they play like shit. But even if you disagree with that, why should some poor kid have to relive your fucking childhood to catch up? Oh, you want to play a fun little phone app meant to get people outside moving around? Well, you have to head down to the retro game store, buy a Game Boy Color, and then all these cartridges. By the way, that's going to set you back like $300. Probably more in an actual store because they have overhead like rent and salaries to pay. Then spend 60 hours playing each one. Then, and only then, you can play a phone app. By then, everyone will stop playing it, which is fine because that means I'll be able to play it without you, a child who the game was made for, interfering in me trying to catch little cartoon monster things. I get that this is your childhood dream and you're very possessive of that fact. But your childhood is over. You're an adult now. Have some fucking respect for yourself. You want to play a kid's game? Great, that's fine. But don't pretend you're superior to children and that you have a right to it, which, by the way, bravo. A real achievement, being born before someone else. Like you had any say in when or if you were born. Oh, and by the way, that birthmark, that's where the coat hanger grazed you. Oh, also, the reason that the servers are overloaded has nothing to do with too many kids playing it. It's all the people who are downloading the game early via whatever means they could find when it wasn't available in their country yet. And the servers couldn't handle it because they were only ready for the people they wanted using it. Now, I wonder who would be able to do that. Well, probably not 8 to 12-year-olds. I mean, how could they? They're just stupid kids who can't name all 151 original Pokemon like you, a real man of superior intellect who's in their mid to late 20s and still wears Charizard jammies. How would they be able to figure out how to get Pokemon Go early? And isn't this what you want? I mean, you're probably the same assholes sharing memes about how your curfew was streetlights, and you drank from garden hoses and you're proud of that, and you got tangled up in phone cords and whatever the fuck, and that 90s kids were the last generation to go outside. So isn't it good that kids are playing a game that encourages them to leave their homes and get some exercise? Nope. Stay inside and get fat, kids. Wait your turn while a grown man has a chance to see a Pikachu on his front lawn through his phone screen. Then, and only then, you can play.